Domestic violence is a meticulous crime that is rarely ever reported. Domestic violence is when one person in a relationship verbally, emotionally, or physically abuses their partner. Any person can be a victim of domestic violence. 85% of victims are women and girls, but men and boys can be and are abused as well. 1 in every 4 women experiences domestic violence. 1 in 6 women and 1 in 33 men have been victims of rape or attempted rape. 1 in 12 women and 1 in 45 men have been stalked by their ex. Domestic violence is the #1 cause of injury for people between the ages of 15 and 44. In homicide cases, 1/3 of the women who are murdered are killed by their partner or ex-partner. 70 to 80% of homicide cases that involve intimate partners, no matter who ends up dead, the man had abused that woman before. Domestic violence is one partner wanting power and control over the other one. The National Domestic Violence Hotline has a diagram on their website that explains the ways of power and control in an abusive relationship. Feel free to pause the video and then also look at it in the link below. Domestic violence also follows a cycle of abuse. It emotionally destroys the victim and keeps them from leaving the relationship. TheHelpGuide.org also had a great chart that shows the cycle. The majority of abuse crimes are not reported, so they keep happening and people are in danger in their own homes. There are people who live in fear of the person they love, and the person who claims to love them hurts them. They are destroyed physically, verbally, and emotionally. And it doesn't just affect the main victim. If there are children in the home, they can also be abused and neglected. Boys who witness domestic violence in their homes as children are twice as likely to grow up to abuse their own partners. Children are also very likely to try and step in and help their parent that is being abused, and this puts their lives at danger because they could be really hurt or killed. Victims of domestic abuse might hate themselves and think that there's something wrong with them. They might have anxiety or depression, and they might feel helpless and alone. Also, abuse is abuse, no matter how little the situation may seem. Don't compare one situation to another because they all still count as abuse. People tend to ignore it if it's only happened a few times, or if it goes away when the victim becomes passive, or if it hasn't become physical yet, but this is all still abuse and it can escalate. Domestic violence is not an accident. It's not just someone losing control of themselves. It is very calculated. They only lose control when no one else is around to witness it. They attack the person they claim to love and they aim their kicks and punches in places that can be covered up with clothing. They might only break the victim's things and never touch any of their own. They isolate them and make their victim completely dependent on them. This is part of that cycle so they can beat them more. Domestic violence is a very controlled situation because it's about power and control. There is no loss of control in domestic violence. They choose when and where and whom to lose control at. The abuser makes the choice to abuse. They want to control their victim. They want dominance instead of equality in their relationship. They want to humiliate their victim. They want to isolate them. They threaten them and they manipulate them. They intimidate their partners and then they deny that they do any of these things. If you think that somebody you know is in an abusive relationship, don't ignore it and just think they'll come to you if they need help. Ask them that they're okay, show that you're concerned, offer to help them, and be supportive of their decisions. If you are in an abusive relationship, there are hotlines you can call and people you can talk to. Remove yourself from yourself and really look at your situation. Then get away from it. Leave it. There are ways. They might try to make you stay by telling you that they'll commit suicide if you leave, but that's manipulative. That's really manipulative. You have to leave. You just have to get out of that situation because it's gonna cycle. It's gonna cycle and you're gonna be in pain and hurt. Raising awareness about domestic violence is really important because it helps those who are trapped in the cycle get away from it. Being aware helps children to grow up and not be abusive. There are links below to learn more and to donate. This is something that needs to be talked about. Keep the conversation going.